Good morning, everyone, and happy Tuesday. It is Julie here with your TipRanks pre-market morning update, where we're bringing you everything you need to know before the market opens. So let's get into it. Alright guys, welcome back and thank you all so much for being here. This morning we have a bit of exciting stock market news, but mostly a lot of notable earnings reports as the week picks up with big names reporting, and we'll take a look at which stocks are the morning's biggest gainers and losers. Don't forget to stop by TipRanks TV to catch the latest episode of Analyze This with 5-star analyst Mark Palmer, who covers the digital asset world. Now let's get right into this morning's exciting stock market news. U.S. stock futures are in the red this morning as tensions rise over Speaker Nancy Pelosi's visit to Taiwan. She is making the trip despite stern warnings from China. Right now, the Dow futures are down 0.6%, S&P 500 futures down 0.66%, and NASDAQ futures down 0.76%. Pepsi will become the preferred distribution partner of Celsius Holdings after buying a stake in the fitness energy drink company. They'll be paying $550 million in cash to own 8.5% of Celsius. That works out to $75 per share for 7.33 million shares. Their CEO from Celsius said that the deal will provide Celsius with significant near-term additional shelf space in both existing retailers as well as new expansion within the independent retailers and gas channels where approximately 70% of energy drinks are sold. Analysts rate the Pepsi stock a moderate buy with a slight upside of 2%. While this next piece of news is not in regards to a publicly traded stock, I think it is definitely worth knowing about. The SEC is charging 11 individuals in their role in a fraudulent crypto pyramid and Ponzi scheme that raised more than $300 million from retail investors. The SEC has alleged that Soars, a website, has operated as a pyramid scheme for over 2 years, with investors making money by enrolling others into the scheme. According to the SEC's complaint, the platform allegedly used assets from new investors to pay earlier investors. According to their website, Soars is a decentralized networking platform based on smart contracts. And LiDAR company Innoviz has won a $4 billion contract with Volkswagen to supply their sensors for the company. Under this deal, Innoviz will supply LiDAR units and related software for the autonomous driving unit of Volkswagen. The deal will run for 8 years, starting mid-decade, and they expect to supply LiDAR units for between 5 and 8 million Volkswagen Group vehicles over that term. Analysts currently rate the Innoviz stock a strong buy with a 100% upside potential. Now, moving over to notable earnings reports. In the pre-market this morning, we're hearing from Tower Semiconductors, Marriott International, and Marathon Petroleum. Already in the pre-market this morning, we heard from Uber Technologies. Their stock is surging after the company turned cash flow positive for the first time. They also forecast third quarter operating profit above estimates. The company had free cash flow of $382 million, well ahead of the analyst expectations of $263.2 million. The free cash flow trumped their other results as they did miss on earnings, coming in with a loss of $1.33 per share, wider than the 25 cents expected, as Uber lost nearly $2 billion from their investments in other ride-hailing services. Analysts currently rate the Uber stock a strong buy with an average upside of 87%. Also reporting a wider than expected loss was JetBlue Airways. Their revenue did grow over 63% year over year, coming in line with expectations at $2.4 billion. However, they did report a loss of 47 cents per share, wider than the estimated loss of 11 cents. With just 2 current analyst ratings, the JetBlue stock does come in as a hold with an average upside of 10.5%. We also heard from Caterpillar. Their stock is down slightly in the pre-market despite coming in ahead of analyst expectations. They reported earnings per share of $3.18, beating the $3.03 expected, and $14.2 billion in sales, ahead of the $14 billion expected. Their CEO was positive as well, saying, "Our team delivered another good quarter with double-digit top line and adjusted profit per share growth despite ongoing supply chain challenges." Analysts currently rate the Caterpillar stock a moderate buy with an average upside of over 15%. And in the pre-market today, we also heard from BP. They came out with solid results on the back of soaring energy prices. They saw their revenue grow nearly 85% on a year-over-year basis to $69.5 billion, ahead of the $67.5 billion expected. They reported earnings per share of $2.61, beating the estimates of $2.20. BP credited exceptional oil trading and strong refining margins for their results. Their stock is currently rated a moderate buy with an average upside of 27%. In the after hours last night, we had some big names reporting, one of those being Pinterest, who is soaring in the pre-market as they had better than expected results despite facing uncertainties around their advertisers. Though their earnings per share of 11 cents was below the analyst expectations of 18 cents, they did report second quarter revenue that was up 9% year over year to $665.9 million, ahead of analyst forecasts. Their CEO said that Pinterest is uniquely positioned to tackle unsolved problems in our industry, capitalize on long-term digital commerce trends, and help people go from inspiration to realization. The stock is currently rated a hold with an average upside of 28%. And we also heard from Activision Blizzard. Their stock is fairly flat after they did beat on revenue but fell short on bottom line expectations. Their bookings came in at $1.64 billion versus the $1.59 billion expected, while earnings per share came in at 47 cents versus the 48 cents expected. Their bookings were down more than 14% year over year. Analysts rate the Activision stock a moderate buy with an average upside of 18%. The after hours today will be busy once again with big name earnings. We'll be hearing from Advanced Micro Devices, SoFi, PayPal, Airbnb, Starbucks, and Occidental Petroleum. Now let's take a look at which stocks are this morning's biggest gainers and losers. Our biggest gainers this morning are led by the AMTD Idea Group. Their stock has been quite active and volatile since their Asian subsidiary spun off and their ADSs began trading on the New York Stock Exchange. Under the ticker AMTD, the stock is up over 222%. They're followed by Getty Images Holdings under the ticker GETY. They're up over 33%, and Pinterest under the ticker PINS up over 19%. And our biggest losers this morning are led by Fortress Transportation after the completion of their infrastructure spin-off. Under the ticker FTAI, the stock is down 9.25%. They're followed by HCA Healthcare under the ticker HCA, down 7.6%, and Credit Suisse under the ticker CS, down 4.85%. So that is going to be everything for Tuesday's pre-market morning update, getting you up to speed with what you need to know before that opening bell. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and say good morning in the comments down below. I always appreciate hearing from you guys. Thanks for watching and have a fantastic day.